My name is Rebecca Adams. I am the AP Bio and IPC teacher here at Salina High School.
Okay, and how would you take care of your mental health?
Actually, I was just talking about this. You need to find a good work, study, and life balance. That is the best way to be able to prepare for anything and that is mental health related. You need to find where you can have time to calm down, not study too hard, and to also have fun. So having work so that you can have the money to pay the bills and also to have the fun. Have school so that you can have education for that work, but no, don't study too hard because you will crash and burn. And then also have fun. So you need to be able to find time with friends and family.
And for the students that are at school, what advice would you give them that you think is the most important?
Well, it depends on which student it is, but I guess my advice is something that probably most students won't take to heart at this moment because you guys are young, but make smart choices.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Adams, and happy Teacher Appreciation Week.
Hi, Ms. Weddle. How do you take care of your mental health?
I think it's important to always try to find time in the day for some of the things that I like. It doesn't happen every day because I'm a teacher and a parent and have other responsibilities, but finding those small things that I like to do that let me relax and kind of calm my mind down and, find some joy in just being by myself and doing the things that I like reading and gardening and even, going on a long walk. It just helps me kind of center myself and calm my mind a little bit.
Yeah. Is there any advice that you would give students moving forward?
Advice about their mental health and taking care of
Yeah,
themselves.
anything like that.
So I think it's important to have someone safe and trusted that you can talk to, especially when you start to feel maybe have negative thoughts or just not feeling so good about yourself. Someone who is trusted and can have your back and really listen to you and maybe give you advice, maybe just be there to listen.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much. Hi, Mrs. Ram.
Hi.
How do you take care of your mental health, and is there any advice that you would give to students moving forward?
Yes, so how I take care of my mental health is when I leave school, I try not to do any schoolwork. Sometimes it cannot be helped like grading papers and stuff, but sometimes I just try to turn off my email and just not look at schoolwork so I can come back in the morning next day and be refreshed.
Yeah.
My advice to students would be to not take so many AP classes and not take so many honors classes and put a lot of pressure on themselves. Students think by taking more AP classes that's the only way to succeed, but it's really not. And what it does sometimes is it just burns you out before you go to college, and that's not what you want because you have a lot more higher level learning to learn in college, and you want to make sure your high school is balanced and your classes are balanced, and that's my personal advice to my own child and to all my students.
Yeah, there's many students who are taking 6 APs junior year, and it's
right.
so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hi, Mr. Kraft.
Good morning.
How do you take care of your mental health, and is there any advice that you give to students?
That is an excellent question. So I think the most important thing you have to do is keep a positive mindset, which is difficult. But you've got to make sure that you understand that you can't do everything perfect. You've got to get to places where you are able to, if you make mistakes, if you do the wrong thing, you can get to a place and talk to yourself about how you are going to do better, but not beat yourself up. That's the most important thing. And have good, loving people around you.
Is there any advice that you have to give to students?
Yes. My father gave me this advice, and I would give it to all of you guys. There is nothing in life that is either so low or so high. Your emotions amplify it. So take the actual experience, positive or negative, and kind of keep it in check. Get perspective. That's the thing.
That is really inspirational. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Happy Teacher Appreciation Week. How do you take care of your mental health?
I go to therapy and I try to find things throughout the day that I like to do, like going for a walk and playing with my son.
Is there any advice you'd give the students?
I would just say before you react to something that's stressful, to give yourself time to adjust and take it all in. Give yourself 24 hours, and then you can decide if it's something that's stressed over or not.
Thank you.
Hi, Mr. Thompson. How do you take care of your mental health?
Well, for me, faith is a big part of my mental health. My relationship with the Lord and having quiet time with Him in the mornings, prayer time, just being able to, even in the hard times, knowing that He's watching me and helping me throughout each day. But to be honest with you, from my perspective, it all has to do with your relationship with the Lord.
And what advice do you give students?
Well, one for me is that I think kids are getting pressured by their parents too much to take so many like hard classes like AP classes, and so just the whole aspect of their workload that they have to do every semester or whatever that they're having to do to study for AP history, AP computer science, AP biology, whatever it might be. I mean, they don't have any really time for themselves to be able to do things that help relieve that mental health, because they're always, maybe studying and honestly, for when you're younger, I really believe that you need to be active, be outside, be outdoors, ride bikes, be around your friend groups. But I think there's just so much pressure, on this younger generation about, grades and how, how hard they are in trying to get into colleges and all that, where they're not well rounded when it comes to getting ready to go to school.
Thank you. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week.
Hello, Ms. Keaveney. We have 2 questions for you. How do you take care of your mental health?
I improve my mental health by making sure I spend time outside every day. Usually I'm walking my dog.
And what advice do you give students who are trying to cope with their workload?
Not to procrastinate. You're going to be much more successful if you do a little bit every day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.